Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. So I'm pleased to be interviewing Ahmar Mustikhan ji as part of our Dharmika Samvadah series. Ahmar ji is a journalist who has worked as a copy editor, reporter, opinion writer, news analyst in newsrooms in Pakistan, the UAE and the US. He focuses his writings on Balochistan, Islamic extremism, the environment and persecution of Hindus and Christians in Pakistan. So today we'll be touching upon a little of each of these issues, but focusing primarily on the Balochistan Freedom Movement. So Amar bhai, could you please give us a brief introduction about yourself, your childhood and upbringing in Karachi, and what events led to your involvement in the freedom movement?
Yes. I was just telling Somnia that Karachi is where I lived most of my life, and Karachi is the largest Baloch city in the world. People don't know that, but its population is 2.5 million Baloch people. And at the time of partition in which I call the partition Holocaust, at the time of the partition Holocaust in 1947, there were among 400,000 people in Karachi, there were 280,000 Baloch. The other were Sindhi Hindus and the rest. Sindhi Hindus were big. So, but most of my life was in Karachi. I was born though in Rangoon, Burma. Burma, before the British, you see, before 47, all was one country. So my grandfathers had landed in Burma, and they took 700 people to work for them in Burma, from Balochistan. They were originally from what we now called the Iranian part of Balochistan, but they had they were very poor in Iranian part of Balochistan. They tried to launch an enterprise in 1870 sometime, and that failed in Iranian Balochistan. So they went to Karachi. Then from Karachi they went to Australia, Perth, Australia, and they were quite seafaring. And then they went to Assam. So Assam, they were in coal mining. And when they were coming back, someone told them, why do you go back to Karachi? Why don't you go to Burma? That's how they ended up in Burma 1902, more than 110 years ago. So there my parents were born. But then there was this, you see, then there was this military coup in Burma. And the generals came, and we had to leave Burma. And unfortunately, my mother decided to go to Karachi because there she had most of her relatives. At the time, we could have gone to United Kingdom or Canada. So then we lost our huge properties in Burma, very big properties. But then we went to Karachi, and there is where I got most of my education. And I joined journalism in 1986. So I joined journalism in 1986, and I joined journalism mostly because it had a social and political aspect to it. The time Pakistan was ruled. Pakistan, every time you see the military general is the main person in Pakistan. So at that time it was the direct military rule of General Ziaul-Haq. Now it is the indirect military rule of General Rahil Sharif. He is now also still it's so unfortunate, and that is the main reason Pakistan has gone down the drain. The generals, they think of them as descendants of Muhammad bin Qasim. They think of them as descendants of Khalid bin Walid. You see, and then they call themselves Rajput also. So I don't know how that works. So I don't want to be insulting them. But how can you be a Rajput and you also say you are a descendant of Muhammad bin Qasim, and Khalid bin Walid is your hero. So all that nonsense. Anyways, so then, yeah, and then I joined journalism basically because it had a socio-political change it could affect. But in Pakistan, we gave up. We can't change Pakistan because of the mindset they have. Basically, very, very bigoted mindset, anti-Hindu mostly, but anti-India, right? This is the state ideology of Pakistan, which we have never agreed to from the get-go. My parents always fondly remembered their Hindu neighbors in Karachi, because we had two homes, Rangoon also and also Karachi. And in Karachi, they always had very good Hindu neighbors. Karachi was such a nice city before this Holocaust of 1947. And after that, you see, it's all very unfortunate. It's a very bad situation.
Emerji, you briefly touched upon the topic of two-nation theory, where Pakistan believes that it has a separate identity of itself. So could you give us some insight into the flaws of this kind of theory about the two-nation?
This two-nation theory was basically part of the British divide and rule policy. It began, as far as my knowledge is concerned, began in 1905 with the partition of Bengal. You can see that this thing was very strong in Bengal. In 1905, the British divided Bengal on religious grounds. And in 1935, they separated Bombay from the Sindh presidency, Sindh from the Bombay presidency. So that was another part of the plan. And it was unfortunate that many Muslims, some Muslims in India, followed that idea. It was totally wrong, because you belong to where the soil is. And now Hindus were the first sons and daughters of the soil in India and Pakistan, and to alienate themselves from the first sons and daughters of the soil is not a good idea. So these guys alienated themselves. I'm grateful. See, the majority of Muslims from India did not come. There were a percentage, maybe 5. God knows, you will know better. Maybe 5 or 10% were affected by this nonsense, and they left India. They fought with their neighbors, and in Karachi also, the Hindus were targeted because Hindus are mostly peaceful people. And of course, if you go on targeting, then it comes a time when there is no way for some people but to also respond in the same way. It's not nice, though. We should try not to respond anytime. But these guys were, you see, so this this idea of two-nation theories, bigoted idea based on Islamist, what I call supremacist idea, that the Swamis, the Acharyas, so many great wisdom that comes from India, they try to detach themselves from that wisdom and try to find their cultural identity with the invaders, which is very unfortunate. You see, in America also, the people have done so many bad things to the black race, to the Native Americans, but then these people realize that they have done a bad thing, and they openly now admit. So I think our Muslim brothers, sisters who call themselves liberals should at least come out and say, yes, what we had done in India for 8 centuries, the Holocaust, the genocide. No one talks about it. I'm surprised, because In India, the genocide was the worst in anywhere in the world. About at least 80 million people have been killed over, at least, maybe it could be 100 million, but at least 80 million people were killed in the name of religion, and those who were killed were Hindus. So, this realization has to come, and then this notion of two-nation theory. This was, you see, that already drawn in the Bay of Bengal in 1971, thanks to our Field Marshal Sam Manekshaw, one of my heroes, and that two-nation theory already had drawn in the Bay of Bengal, and it was a theory of pitting brother against brother, sister against sister, and this was, you see, in mostly in our part in the West. I'm told that some Bengal Muslims are also very narrow-minded, but I don't know. I thought Bengal was always more secular. This is what I thought. And Bengal is the birthplace of Rabindranath Tagore. So Bengal has that background of secular values. So unfortunately, Bengal did play a big role in the two-nation theory. And in our part, in this western part, this was Punjab. Punjabi Muslim is a big problem now. The Punjabi Muslim jihadi mindset is what is creating so much of turmoil all over South Asia and Southwest Asia. Their mindset is that the Punjabi who is a Hindu, or a Punjabi who is a Sikh, or a Punjabi who is a Christian, is not their own. They are their own blood and bone. They are from the same cities. Their ancestors are buried or have been burnt in the same ways, and then they say that no, they are not similar. Their Punjabi Muslim is different from Punjabi Hindus and Punjabi Sikhs and Punjabi Christians. And what has now happened, they have filtered it down, and they have gone to attacking the Ahmadis, the Shia Punjabis. It's very, I feel very sad for the Ahmadis, because they are also treated just like how Pakistan treats Hindus and Christians. And though the Ahmadis says they are Muslim, but the state of Pakistan officially de-recognized them as Muslims since 1974, right? Yes, 74. So they are no longer, they say we are Muslim, and then the state Islamic Republic of Pakistan says, no, you are not Muslim. So this is the tragedy, and kind of, I feel very sorry. One should not feel bad. I mean, one should not make fun of this. But Ahmadis also were itching. Ahmadis had a great itch about this two-nation theory. So it's we see them also paying a price. We Baloch were not a part of this nonsense. We never had, you see, anything to do with this Muslim League idea. I will tell you, in Sindh, unfortunately, there was some, and the reason why there was in Sindh was that what I have come to know from, that was the grandson of the first governor of Sindh. That guy also became the first chief minister of Sindh when the Sindh was separated from the Bombay presidency. That guy was Sir Ghulam Hussain Hidayatullah. So because of being in old Karachi, they were family friends. And his grandson told me, he was interested in the history and all that thing, that the reason why these Sindh Muslim feudals went for Pakistan and this Jinnah nonsense, although even in the Sindh assembly, almost, if I'm not wrong, 35 or 40% of the members of the Sindh assembly voted against joining Pakistan. Good number of legislators in the Sindh assembly at the time when they were asking whether they want to join Pakistan or not. a very good number. Please bear with me. I might not be 100% right, but maybe 30% something they voted against. But the majority of the feudal lords, why they went for Pakistan, was that these feudal lords used to live beyond their means. They always wanted to have a very showy, flashy lives. And what happened? They had borrowed money from the Hindu money lenders, and their land was mostly mortgage. Huge part of Sindhi landowners' land was mortgaged to the Sindhi Hindu and money lenders. And these feudal lords thought the easy way to get out of the debt is to create Pakistan. And all the debts that they had taken were all of a sudden overnight, they were debt free. So that was their idea of Pakistan. And then the religious right, you see, came in, and they all created all kind of, you see, because Pakistan is synonymous with Islam, and Pakistan is the citadel or fortress of Islam, and we got all these things. And so now you see, and then of course when Pakistan is the citadel and the fortress of Islam, so of course it will be the preferred destination for Mr. Osama bin Laden, and of course it will also be the most comfortable home for characters like Sayyid Salahuddin and all those other, you see, these characters, Lashkar-e-Taiba and Jaish-e-Muhammad, Jamiat-ud-Dawa, all these were filled with hatred, were filled with animosity. This Pakistan, they are Pakistan's hero. I feel very sad. In Pakistan, Dawood Ibrahim is a hero in the eyes of some of the youngsters.
So, Emerji, this is all part of the Gazwa-E-Hind policy, right, of Pakistan?
Sir, this is exactly, they believe in this policy that Prophet Muhammad had said, anyone who goes and conquers Hind will be blessed in heaven and have all the package that comes in heaven. So there is the religious right, which used to be very honest, until 80s, before Ziaul came, they were 4% of the popular. They didn't have lot of, although Pakistan state was always propagating, right? Pakistan state was always saying this, Hindus are inferior. Gazwa-E-Hind is still in the back of their mind. They think that one Muslim is equal to 10 Hindus. You see, or 10 Jains, or 10 Sikhs, or 10 Buddhists, 10 Christians. They think that one Muslim is equal to 10 of that. And to be very honest, one die-hard practicing Muslim is equal to 10 Hindus in stupidity. Yeah. In stupidity, they are equal. One Muslim is almost as stupid as maybe 10 Hindus can show some stupidity. But other than this, how can you say that one Muslim is equal to 10 Hindus or 10 Sikhs? This is the mindset they brainwash the child. And Gazwa-E-Hind is you look at Zaid Hamid. Now, if you want to ask me what is the difference between Balochistan and Pakistan, right? Because, okay, Balochistan people are also Muslim, right? They are Sunni Muslim mostly. 65%, 30 is another religion called Zikri. It's a chanting religion. They don't believe in going to Hajj, and so they are out of Saudi influence. That's a good thing. But you will ask me what is the difference between Baloch and Pakistani, because after all they both have this nonsensical germs of whatever. And then I will tell you, you can see what I am saying, and then you can compare what I am saying to Zaid Hamid, you know, that idiot from Pakistan, Lal Topi Wala. Yeah, look at his ideas and look at my ideas, and you will see we are totally different. And You see, their idea, India is, I always say India is our mother. I call India Mother India. I am American now, but I still call India Mother India. We have got no problem with India, we Baloch. Now, Pakistan or Hindus. Hindus have played a big role in our society. They have always been a source of commerce in our societies. Hindu were there before. They didn't come from outside. We came from outside. so, so this Pakistanis have this problem with Hindus or India, then they could then please limit their Pakistani jurisdiction to Punjab and let us, we who do not believe in this of Hindu or India is our enemy, Balochistan, we don't want to, they shouldn't dictate who we should befriend and who we should do business with. But they are holding guns. They are holding guns. They are mostly from the West. And West has played a big mess because for so long, when Pakistan was inciting terror in Kashmir, the West would say, well, it's a bilateral issue between India and Pakistan. This is the Western hypocrisy, the Western racism that has contributed to this.
So this brings us to the topic of the Balochistan Freedom Movement. But am I correct in understanding that in 1948, Pakistan actually held a Balochi leader at gunpoint and occupied it legally? So Balochistan was illegally occupied officially in 1948. Can you give us more history on that?
Yeah. You see, what had happened, the Khan of Kalat at the time, which Khan means the ruler, Kalat, there was a Baloch confederacy, right? Baloch confederacy. Kalat was very different from the, I believe there were 564 princely states of India. So Kalat, Nepal, Sri Lanka, and Burma, they had, they were not at par with, they were at a higher, I mean, Balochistan and Nepal were at a higher level of dealing with the British. They dealt directly with Whitehall, okay? And so when the issue of partition was being discussed, so it was coming that this is eventually going to happen. So our leaders, Baloch leaders, wanted a free Balochistan. So we went, there were two houses in Kalat. One was, the other confederacies were Makran, Lasbela, and Haran. All the rulers of these were neighboring parts of the tribal confederacy. But they were, their foreign policy, their decisions were mostly on as far as the war or foreign relation or status, international status went. That decision was to be made by Kalat, and the others were to be part of the decision. But they were, you see, tribal confederacies: Makran, Lasbela, Haran, and Kalat. And Kalat state had unanimously, there were two houses in Kalat, which is generally called Balochistan. From the outside, it is called Balochistan. So Kalat had decided on independence. The two houses of parliament, Diwan-e-Aam, which is House of Commons, and Diwan-e-Khas, House of Lords. They both said they want freedom, right? It was their decision. Then this Ahmad Yar Khan, the ruler of Kalat, made a terrible mistake. He made Jinnah his lawyer. Jinnah was to do the paperwork, and Jinnah himself accepted that Balochistan is different, will not be part of Pakistan. Yeah, this is Jinnah's deception. Jinnah was a big thug. He did a worst harm to India, and he did worst harm on the saying of the British. You guys go on and have problems with Nehru, that is all right. We too have some of the problem, but you can't compare Nehru and Jinnah. So Jinnah, it is like, you see, you are buying a house and you have a lawyer, and that lawyer becomes the owner of your house. This is what Jinnah did with Balochistan. In Sindh, I can tell you, this is, you're part of that history. In Sindh also, you see, there's a big Baloch population in Sindh. As I told you, Karachi is the largest Baloch city in the world. So other than Karachi, also inside Sindh, in the districts of Larkana, Dadu, Jacobabad, many districts in Sindh, there are Baloch people. Many of them have been assimilated in Sindh now, but some of them still speak the language. Some of them still say they're part of Balochistan. So this is our Sindhi friends will know. We are not claiming any lands from them, but this is a fact. And the notables of Sindh, the Khan of Kalat, Ahmad Yar Khan, had come to our family house. Our family house was in Karachi, in Garden. We had this, it's a good big house, and all these notables came to our house, and they decided unanimously against Pakistan. And when Kalat became independent, they made my uncle the ambassador of Balochistan to Pakistan. So Balochistan flag flew over our house in old Karachi. It used to be called Gandhi Garden. Gandhi Garden, why? Because there was a there was a zoo right across the road, and that zoo was named after Gandhi. So that area used to be called Gandhi Garden. It was the old Karachi. And in that place, you see in the house, that flew, the Balochistan flag flew over our house from 11 August 1947 until 28 March 1948. That flag is still with my cousins. So we are not creating any problem. I mean, not creating any propaganda. It is part of history. And the guy who did this went and occupied Balochistan, arrested the Khan of Kalat, took him away to Lahore, insulted him, and his name was Akbar Khan. This Akbar Khan was the same guy who was the key figure in Operation Gulmarg, which took 1/3 of Kashmir. He was there in Kashmir in fall of 1947. And in spring of 1948, he was in Balochistan. So this Akbar Khan, he was a British stooge, and he had himself in his record on the British orders, he had killed many of his own people in Pashtunkhwa. So this is how, you see, by force, by deception, by treachery, they took Balochistan away. And the Khan of Kalat's brother, with 2,000 people, armed tribesmen, he went to Afghanistan. Because you see, all the time in history, Balochistan, Afghanistan had very close relations. So he went into Afghanistan to organize a resistance. And he was there in Afghanistan for many years. And then he came back finally, because the get-go from the very beginning, the main impediment in the Baloch struggle. One thing happened here, which I'm sorry I forgot. The main leader who was at the time the voice for a free Balochistan was called Gosbaks Bizinjo. This guy, Gosbaks Bizinjo, had gone to India in 47 and had met Abul Kalam Azad, who was the Congress president, and he told with many leaders of a party called the Kalat State National Party. So they went to India, they met Abul Kalam Azad, and they told them that this is the evil designs of Pakistan, and they are going to take us over if you don't help us. So, and I asked Bizinjo myself this personally, because whenever Bizinjo used to come to Karachi before his death, he was he was living at my uncle's house. So in his last final year, this Bizinjo, who was briefly for 9 months the governor of Balochistan before Pakistan dismissed the government, he told me this himself. And he said he went and met Abul Kalam Azad, and Abul Kalam Azad said, well, if you guys are going to get over this issue, then the British will get a chance to delay the departure from India. So the Congress party, which would have been the ruling party of India after the British left, they said, we are sorry, we cannot help you. And that is how, you see, Balochistan became part of Pakistan. Had at that time the Congress leadership had taken a more proactive role on the question of Balochistan independence, then it would not have happened.
Very true. And Congress has always been a problem, even for India. So that goes without saying. And I also wanted to ask, what once Balochistan was illegally occupied, what kind of atrocities did the Baloch people face under the hands of the Pakistani army?
Pakistani people, this government, the military, which I mean military. See, you have to please say the military is the main problem in Pakistan, right? They have the jihadi mindset. Their idea is Gazwa-E-Hind. So that is coming from the Rawalpindi Army GHQ and the ISI headquarters in Appara in Islamabad. So these are the two main centers of evil in Pakistan. So these guys, what they did, they do all kind of torture. I mean, unspeakable, unconscionable, as we say. You can't imagine. They talk about India being using pellet guns in Kashmir. These guys use whatever they can. They use aircraft, they use helicopter gunships, they have used poison gas, right? They not only go and kill people, they burn down the entire village. They kill their livestock on which they sustain, on which they live. I mean, war crimes of the worst order. War crimes happening. Blackout of the media. No foreign journalist allowed in Balochistan. When there was a devastating earthquake in fall 2013, they didn't even allow the international NGOs to go into Balochistan. How can people affected by an earthquake need help? Pakistan isn't a rich country. It doesn't have the resources. International NGOs are wanting doctors without border. Doctors without borders. Medicine Sans Frontier. They were not allowed into Balochistan. Can you believe me? Doctors with no international agency was allowed into Balochistan. They are thinking that they will take over Balochistan because they need the resources of Balochistan. They need the waterways of Balochistan. They need a land so that they can they can breed more of their jihadi that are in Punjab in that land. So we want them to respect our borders. These Punjabi generals are not only poor students of history, they are also willfully poor students of geography. They think this is Islamic Republic of Pakistan. So they will take. You see, the kind of atrocities, the enforced disappearances, at least 25,000 people are still missing. 6,000 were tortured, killed, and dumped. Pakistan officially acknowledges 1,000. It's actually 6,000 were tortured, uh, dumped. I can't even. It's young people, to embarrass them, forced to eat feces, their excreta put in their mouths. What is this? Why sodomized? Sodomy, it's weapon of war. All kind of insults, and then these for the last 6 years, this kill and dump, in which they treat the body in the same fashion when Islam was on the rise 14 centuries ago, and when the Islamist jihadis would treat the apostates. The apostates were treated very badly under Islam, I tell you, 14 centuries ago. And they are treating the Baloch as apostates. Why? The Baloch have revolted or rebelled against the Islamic Republic of Pakistan. So now,
Emerging with such great amount of massacre and just mass murder, why was there no international news about it?
see, this number one, this has to come when, like now, we are hoping it will come. You can see for the last 3 weeks since Sri Narendra Modi spoke out, you can see there is a lot of now coverage, right? At least in India, there is a lot of coverage, and that will again go, because prior to that, when one state is doing this, then the other states have a duty to stop it. That was not happening. See, that was not happening. The US, which is the main supporter of Pakistan, looked the other way. Their agencies are very intelligent. The CIA, FBI knows everything, and they guide the president. It's not that they don't tell the president what's going on, but they have their interests. In Bangladesh, you can see in 1971, they were saying Nixon and this guy Kissinger, they knew everything. Their diplomats were telling them from Bangladesh that this is happening. They are committing crimes against humanity. But at the time, Nixon and Kissinger were all praised for the Pakistan army, because Yahya Khan was helping them make bridges with the Chinese. So Pakistan was the middleman between US and China at the time. So they, I'm sure many of you don't like Indira Gandhi, but she played a great role in Bangladesh. We must credit her for that. And these guys, Kissinger and Nixon, were calling her all kinds of names, like she's a whore and God knows whatever. Yeah, it is on record. So the US had played a big problem. If the State Departments, if the US government takes a more active role, then all the world knows, you see. So now my thing is, India is the next superpower. This century is what I call India's century. India is going to rise. The Gazwa-E-Hind nonsense is not going to stop India from reaching the pinnacles of greatness that it deserves. And so now it is India's duty, its moral obligation, to bring Balochistan to the forefront, just like our brother, our leader, Sri Narendra Modi did. Yeah, extremely indebted to him. All Baloch people all over the world are extremely indebted to Sri Narendra Modi for his principled stand on Balochistan. And we are 100% sure that the Indian government, the people, the state would stand with the children of Hinglaj Mata, as I call Balochistan. Hinglaj Mata is in Balochistan. We, we are linked not by today, we have been linked by thousands of years. So now that India is taking an interest in what's happening, because what's happening is against human values, is against the interest of what Pakistan is doing, against the interests of humankind. So I'm sure now it will change. It's a very sad story that for 7 decades, somehow, I don't like to, you see, because I don't like to criticize Nehru a lot because he was, after all, the founder of India. But some of his policies, Kashmir being lost to Pakistan, and his policy on Balochistan was not the best policy. So now, hopefully, those policies will be changed.
So, Emerji, I wanted to inquire that with the recent official support of the Modi government, how does that change the freedom equation of Balochistan on a global scale? What is the international reaction now? So India is naturally in support of it, but what do nations such as America and the European countries think about the freedom movement?
Number one, because it is in the Indian backyard, because Baloch waters is part of the Indian Ocean, India must assert. India cannot wait for what the white person will say. We are brown. We, as I said, Balochistan is the land of Hinglaj Mata. It is, India cannot rely and cannot even, doesn't have to even wait for the West on what they are going to say or what they are going to do. As I said, India must assert, the West will have to listen. And when Sri Narendra Modi is going to talk to these leaders, this is unfair, this is going on, this must be stopped, all will listen to him. Sri Narendra Modi has put India on the world stage. India's importance today is far more than it used to be 10-15 years ago. And when he meets the world leaders, we are hoping that he is going to talk to them. They are all going to listen to it. We are hoping, our hope is Sri Narendra Modi. Our best hope. You see, when Sri Narendra Modi was elected Prime Minister, I went and distributed prasad here in Washington, D.C. And I also carried a poster which said, PM Modi, Balochistan loves you and needs you. That picture became very popular, and many people saw that picture, I holding that placard at the White House when he came after it. First time I did it in front of this Indian embassy when he was elected, and then when he came to visit US and met with Obama at that time. So you see, India has not asserted itself for so many decades. India didn't assert. We were confused whether India has a foreign policy or not. Please, my niece is here in the program, but India was more or less like a castrated elephant. So there is this, it cannot, if it wants to assert itself on the world and become the power that it is going to become in this century, then it will have to have a free Balochistan. Free Balochistan is in the interest of India. Geostrategic, business, commercial. India has got 84 billionaires. Fourth on the list of Forbes when it comes to number of world billionaires, more than many Western powers, more than Canada, more than Britain, more than Russia. I think only US, China, and Norway have got more billionaires than India has. These billionaires, the government of India, the people of India. You see, the people of India, We have groundswell of support. As far as the people of India go, Free Balochistan has got groundswell of support. I appeal to the Baloch people and to the Baloch youths never ever to forget that when they were being killed, that when they were being massacred, a Hindu man stood up for them. And forever, as long as they live, they should respect and defend Hindus. This is my appeal to them. And I'm pretty sure with India's involvement and with the interest of Sri Narendra Modi, Balochistan's long dream of being a free country will come true.
Amarji, is there scope for building stronger economic ties between Balochistan and India?
Why not? This is the sea lane, right? I mean, why Pakistan is the hurdle, right? Pakistan is the main hurdle. I tell you, even in the Persian Gulf, in Oman, I know we have relatives in Oman. You will be surprised, 20% of Omani population is Baloch. Actually, 40% is Baloch, but half of them say, no, we are now just Omani. Okay, so they don't speak Balochi. But 20% of Oman population is still Baloch, and they speak Balochi, and they may have two homes, one Oman and one in Balochistan. So also in Bahrain, in UAE, in all these Gulf countries, there's a huge Baloch population because they are right across the waters from Balochistan. So not only in Balochistan, you can go in Dubai. You will see this big retail stores owned by Hindu traders in Oman. So these countries we don't have. They also have a lot of high regard for India, lot of respect. Not only, and Baloch, we are even closer because you don't even have to cross the waters to go there. And as I said, Balochistan is the Bharata Mata is there. So we have only problem here is Pakistan. The state of Pakistan's rotten mindset. They have harmed India so much by their, as you discussed earlier, the two-nation nonsense. And now they are still in a big hurdle in our way. Once we are free of Pakistan, I see Indian merchant ships coming into the Baloch waters on the Baloch ports in Gwadar, in Pasni, in Juni. There are lots of opportunities. China had been there centuries ago when one of their see, I'm getting bad with his name, but centuries ago there was a Chinese who came there, a Chinese warrior, naval admiral, but then he left. They could not sustain here. So and also there is a Baloch hero who had defended the Baloch waters. His statue is in Goa. His name is Hammal Kalmati. The Portuguese were so impressed by his bravery in defending the waters of Balochistan. They finally managed to capture him. And then they built his statue in Goa. If you can please ask some friends. And if I visit India, I will have to go there and see for myself. But his statue is in Goa. So there's a lot of opportunities for Balochistan and India, and to prosper, to have peace. My proposition for the Baloch leaders who will become the founders of Free Balochistan is not to have 100-year treaty of friendship with India, but 1,000-year treaty of friendship with India. Yeah, this is my idea. And if the Baloch are really, in our Balochi we say that if someone gives you a glass of water, remember it for 100 years. This is our Balochi saying, that if someone gives you a glass of water, remember it for 100 years. And if India or Sri Narendra Modi is going to give us, help us winning our freedom, we will remain true, faithful, humble sons of India, Mother India.
That's a very beautiful thought, Emoji. I have one more question about what fraction of the Baloch people are currently in favor of freedom? Are there any people who are
Majority,
against it?
all of them, some are afraid. Some are afraid when you have that guns. You see, or very honestly, had I been in Balochistan, do you think I would have been speaking all this? No, no. I am in front of you, sitting here in America, right? So I'm speaking my mind out openly. Had I been in Quetta and you would have been calling me and asking me these views, do you think I would have said the same things? No. If I wanted to see the other day sunrise, I would not have said all these things. So majority of people in Balochistan are under, I mean, everyone wants freedom. 5%, 5% of people will say, no, India should not be free. It should have been under British rule. Even in India, there will be maybe 5%, right? They will say, no, no, India should not have been free. It was better with the British ruling India. So the 5% is in every society. So 5% are opposed. Those 5% are now financed. They are armed. They are given all kind of media coverage. They are made into big thing. This guy, Chief Minister of Balochistan, who burnt Sri Narendra Modi and one of our very young but dynamic leader, Brahmdas Bukti's effigies after Sri Narendra Modi's statement. This guy has killed his own brother. He is the Chief Minister of Balochistan. He killed his elder brother. His name is Sana Zeri. He killed his elder brother, who was Rasul Bakhsh Zehri, right? He killed countless Baloch with his own hands. Not that he asked someone to go and kill. With his own hands, there was a teacher from his tribe. He protested that whenever he's elected, he never works for the people. So the other day, and he spit on this guy in public. Okay, he spit. Okay, you are a public official. On a public official, people can spit, people can even throw slippers, people can do all kind of things. He was your electorate. This guy who was burning Sri Narendra Modi's effigy and Brahmdas Bukti effigy, this guy killed his brother and this teacher. He called that teacher. Can you believe me? It would have been the worst Bollywood movie. The worst Bollywood movie, I assure you. First, he cut off one of the hands of the teacher. Then he cut off the other hand of the teacher. And then he chopped off his neck. And this guy is standing with the support of the ISI and the military, his own brother, killer of his own brother. I am not making up. This is a true story. This chief minister of Balochistan, who is the ISI's handpicked guy, who has got no following. Only maybe 5% of the people voted in the last elections. Because there was a boycott call of the patriotic parties who want independence. So only 5% people voted. So 95%, 90% of people of Balochistan want freedom. You see, we know that we don't have a future in Pakistan. We know that Pakistan only wants to take our ports, our waters, and our natural resources and kill us. This is Pakistan's policy. How, you see, we are not idiots. How can we want to live in Pakistan when they want to take away everything from us and give us our dead bodies? Every village has got their dead bodies now. So you kill one person in a village, the entire village turns against you. In every village in Balochistan, there are Baloch martyrs. Killed by who? Pakistan army and intelligence. They say, well, India is interfering. India, the major foreign power in Balochistan, the major foreign intervention in Balochistan is the Pakistan army military boots on Baloch soil. Indians are our friends. All Indians are welcome. Pakistan has got no business to obstruct us from having friendship with anyone. It's not their call, it's our call.
Very well stated, Tamalji. And I have one final question and also a concern. So, as we spoke over about this issue on the phone, that I was concerned that this freedom movement would slowly lose its momentum. So, what can we as Indians living in India or abroad do to keep the wheels turning? So, are there any groups that we can participate in, any dialogues that we could be a part of? How can we Indians contribute to helping the Balochi in their freedom movement?
Indians can write to. I mean, Indians can always. There is always room. Indians can tell their government officials. India can hold seminars. In India, India can open, as Brahmdag Bhukti said, ask the government to open doors for Baloch refugees. Why should Baloch refugees be going to all these far off places when they can be in India and prepare for the future, for a better future? So India has a big India and Indians have a key role to play. Please, you see, I am a little saddened when I see the plight of the Kashmir Pandits. This should not have been happening to more than 500,000 Pandits, because the Pandits are the most cultured, most civilized people in Kashmir. And the way they have been uprooted from their home, I tell you, I feel as strongly for the Kashmir Pandits as I feel over the occupation of Balochistan. So now, and sometimes I'm questioning myself, when India has not been able to put Kashmir Pandits back to their home, how will it be able to see? This is honest. We believe in honest communication, right? I'm questioning myself all the time when India has not been able to put Kashmir Pandits back in their homeland, which is theirs. They were there before David was born, before Moses was born, before Muhammad was born. All these Pandits were there thousands of years before them, and they have been so, you see, unkind. I cannot imagine what kind of mindset of these people are, that they force these people who is their son of the Kashmir, they're there before anyone came, and they force these guys out of Kashmir. You see, two to three. Just like I'm calling for Indian support for Balochistan, right now it is happening. Hopefully, saying the Indian government should openly meet our leaders. I'm begging my sister, my Honorable Sushma Swaraj, to please meet openly with the Baloch leaders, because Pakistanis go and meet the terrorists and militants who are there to impose Gazwa-E-Hind on on India, and here India is doing the right thing. India is doing the, because under the new norms of international law, when people face crimes against humanity, war crimes, and genocide, like the people of Balochistan are facing, then under the new norms of international law, is the responsibility to protect. And Sri Narendra Modi's speech on Independence Day, we don't have enough words to thank him for that. That is why I will openly say Har Har Modi, Ghar Ghar Modi. That is, we cannot have enough words to say this to our. I said Har Har Modi, Ghar Ghar Modi, not only in India but also in Balochistan. Pakistanis hate him. The military generals especially hate him, and all the time they say Gujarat, Gujarat, Gujarat. Well, if you go on bullying, if you go on killing people, if you go on doing whatever you want, and if there is a slight response, then you go and then you say, oh, it's been very wrong. No, see, so that is why our hope is our sister, as I said, Honorable Sushma Swaraj, our other leaders, official, please, openly, and also the Indian ambassadors, Indian embassies, openly own the Balochistan issue. This is your issue. Baloch waters are part of the Indian Ocean waters. Doesn't India want to claim that water? So this waters is India. We are one. We should jointly, you see, we can't do it on our own. We have moral. If we have this moral, our youths are going to fight their own battles. Okay, we are not asking India to send the troops. If we need to, we'll even ask for that. But we can fight it on our own. But we need all kind of even military support. I am not going to hide it. If the time comes, India should also not shrink from military support. What as we saw in Dhaka, what happened? There were Dhaka. You see, finally the Indian Army had to go in. So it is not Balochistan, as I said, because of Hinglaj Mata, because of all the history. We are all one. Pakistan cannot. Why can't you come to Balochistan? Because India is mostly Hindu and we are Muslim. We don't buy that nonsense. This is Pakistani nonsense. Why should we stick with the Pakistani nonsense? We are one. See, you and I, we are talking to one another. We look like very much the same people. We are one. How can Pakistan, this is their nonsense. Pakistan can't understand. This is their mindset that has made them go down the drain. And then they want us to take us along themselves to the drain. No, we want to rise with India. This century is the Indian century. Balochistan wants to become a part of the Indian success story rather than part of this failed state of Pakistan. If you call it opportunism, maybe it is.
No, I completely understand and accept everything you said. And you're right. It's a joint concern for the Indian and the Baloch people. And it is not any one single person's concern. In fact, the whole world, all of humanity should be in favor of your plight. So I really cannot thank you enough for giving us such a deep perspective into the situation. And I would like to say on behalf of all sensible Indians living at home and abroad that we are all in favor of the Balochistan Freedom Movement.
Thank you.
And
Does any of the other friends have anything on their mind?
if there are any questions or thoughts, please feel free to communicate them to Amarji.
I think I have bored them a lot.
I think it was extremely insightful information. So I think we were all a little stunned by what we heard.
Okay. Thank you then.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah,
you.
true.
I really appreciate. Yes, please.
Yeah, true. I mean, like this was the most informative thing we ever had. Like this kind of history we never learn in our school. For most part, even our own history we don't learn in our school. Our history is mostly covered, glossed over. For most part, I'm not saying as it as an exaggeration. Many people still like till recently, till Narendra Modi ji picked up this issue, wouldn't have known anything about Balochistan, wouldn't have known the massacres that is happening there, or how there is a freedom movement going on. So it is like pretty much most of the part of Indians are kept in dark. That is where I think a lot of support is still not there. But I think the situation is changing, even with respect to the Kashmiri pundits, which you said. Many Indians, like who are not in the 90s, like were like later generations, as you say, millennials, wouldn't have never known anything about Kashmiri pundits. So I think pretty much it's information blackout is what is causing all this. As and when more information comes out, I think more support we'll all get.
Yes, great. And you see, I hope the diplomats, Indian diplomats overseas, will be following in spirit what Sri Narendra Modi has said, because some of the old diplomats are still in the Cold War era, and I hope that will change. I knew that not all of them, but some of them still are, you see, fixated to the old ideas of no, we shouldn't disturb Pakistan, and Pakistan can do whatever it to us, and we should turn the other cheek. And this should, I hope, this is one thing Indians can change and help us. And I'm extremely indebted to you guys. I'm telling you, I always say that a Baloch have got nothing to despair when Mother India is smiling. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank
Ahmad ji,
you.
on that note, आप नारा लगा दिए एक बार, भारत माता की जय.
भारत माता की जय, जरूर. भारत माता की जय. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.